Hello and welcome to Danny Moon's Crochet. My name's Sally. It's Wednesday the 15th of October 2025 and today I'm doing a crochet and yarn tag. I was tagged by the lovely Sam, Morning Sam from Manfors Makes. She invented a tag video. There's 8 questions and it's based on the party game Would You Rather. So the hashtag is hashtag Would You Rather Yarn Edition, and she came up with these 8 questions. Either would you rather this or this? So thank you, Sam, for tagging me. Thank you. Let's get straight into them, shall we? Question number 1: would you rather have a lifetime supply of yarn or an extra pair of hands to crochet twice as many things? Now I think I've watched Litza from Coco's Crochet. I watched her tag because Sam tagged her as well, and when she was giving her answer she was saying about having an extra pair of hands, having 2 pairs of hands, and the thought of it did freak me out a little bit, to think that you got like 4 hands. And so I think for number 1 it's definitely I'd rather have a lifetime supply of yarn. I think I have got that anyway. Yeah, looking around, but my answer is a lifetime supply of yarn, and just do it steadily in my own time. If I could get it done, I can get things done. If I don't, it doesn't matter. Question number 2: would you rather have magic yarn that weaves its own ends in, or magic yarn that changes itself to the perfect colour shade every stitch of your project? Now, I know I might sound a bit of a freak and I might be a bit on my own here, but I really don't mind weaving in ends. I think it's all to do with finishing off your project, I think. And I think where it stems from, my mum, God bless her, she crocheted, not she crocheted, she didn't crochet, she knitted the most amazing garments. Or she could do very intricate things. She was really brilliant at knitting. But when it came to the sewing up, when it came to the sewing up, she didn't sew up very well. So 9 times out of 10, if she'd knitted a jumper or anything, it tended to come undone. She didn't weave in the ends very well. I hate to say that, but she didn't. So things tended to come undone. So I think it stems from that. Everything that I make, I weave the ends in so well that I think if you've made a mistake and you've got to unpick it, you're never going to unpick it, because it's got to be 100% safe. So I think it stems from there. So because of that, I really don't mind. I think when you've took all your time to do a project, it absolutely just, you want to make sure that it's all held together. And I liked the finishing touch that you've weaved in the ends properly. So I know that'll be a bit odd answer, I know, but I don't mind weaving. I don't mind weaving in ends. So my answer for that would be the magic yarn that changes itself to the perfect colour shade every stitch of your project, because I like to weave in ends. Question number 3: would you rather only be able to use super bulky 6 and a 12mm hook, or fingering weight yarn and a 2.5mm hook for the rest of your life? Now a little bit difficult, because if you used super bulky you could do a lot of big big blankets, but I think sometimes when you use a 12mm hook, it hurts your hand a little bit. So I think the fingering weight yarn, my thinking was the same as what Sam had said. You, with finger, although you've got a very fine yarn, you could double it up. You could do it 3 strands, you could 4 strands, you could make that fingering weight yarn into whatever yarn weight you choose. So I think the fingering weight would be my answer. Number 4, would you rather make the same item repeatedly forever, or only have patterns that have wrong stitch count and fudge them? Oh, I think you'd really get fed up of doing the same thing repeatedly. That definitely wouldn't be my answer. My answer would be only to have patterns that have the wrong stitch count, and you've got to fudge them. It really puts me off when I start reading a pattern and I know it's wrong. It really irritates me and it puts me off, and I don't want to do that pattern. But given the choice of 2, I think I like a pattern to be exact, and if there's mistakes in it, I really don't like it and I won't do it. But given the choice of the 2, I just couldn't do the same thing forever. So my answer for that will be have the patterns with the wrong stitch count, and I'd just fudge it and make it right. I think I've been crocheting for quite a few years. I think I'd be able to. I don't like to do that, but I like the pattern to be right. But I think I would be able to fudge it and make it right. Question number 5. Would you rather use only black yarn for every project forever, or only use the bobble stitch for every pattern forever? Well, I think if you've watched my Monday's video where I've had a bit of a wobble, I think you know what I'm going to say. I'm doing the Wizard of Oz characters, and my final one, I struggled with little Toto, he's black, and the witch, the naughty witch, the Wicked Witch of the West, she's black. The dress is black, and I'm really struggling with that. The black yarn, I just don't like it. I don't mind doing tiny little bits of something, but a whole thing in black, no, really don't like it. So, and actually I don't mind the bobble stitch. You know, it'd be a bit tedious, I know, every pattern being a bobble stitch, but you could still, you could still do all your garments and blankets and everything else. So I definitely would use the bobble stitch in every pattern for the rest of my life. No black. No, I don't think I'll crochet with black again. No black here, thank you. Question number 6. Would you rather make big thick woolly blankets in summer, or super thin yarn is the only yarn you can use? Well, our summers are not in the UK here. Our summers are never very warm. They're never very hot, so it wouldn't bother me to make big thick woolly blankets in the summer. That wouldn't bother me really. But again, with a super thin yarn, you could double strand it, treble, triple. You could, strand it, couldn't you? So I think for that one, I think I'd actually choose the super thin yarn, and then you could still make all sorts from it. Question number 7. Oh, getting through these rapidly. Would you rather have a perfect centre pull every time, or the perfect amount of yarn for every project every time. Well, I don't always use the centre pull, to be truthful. When yeah, this has got a bit, this for example, this here, this I'm using it from, you know, I'm not using the centre pull, so 9 times out of 10 I do use the centre pull, because that's years and years ago, you know, when I started, when I was little, my mum always used it from the centre, but I don't, and also, again, I might be a bit strange, I might be a bit odd and funny, but when you do a centre pull and all that, you get great big blob. I actually quite like untangling yarn. If I've got a big yarn mess or I've got tangles and knots, I find it really, really therapeutic to untangle yarn. So that wouldn't bother me at all about having a perfect centre pull. You know, it really wouldn't bother, because, like I said, I quite like untangling, and I use from the outside as well. So my answer would be the perfect amount of yarn for every project every time. If I've got the perfect amount, that would be perfect. And the last question is, would you rather have a stash of yarn that magically restocks itself, or have the perfect yarn in your stash for every pattern you own? Now, let me think. Have a stash that magically restocks. That would be quite nice, because where I live here, we're a bit remote. We're northwest Wales on the coast, and there isn't any big stores around. We've got one little local yarn shop, which is about, I don't know, about 30 miles away. So it's not really local, and although it's a lovely little yarn shop, it's very expensive. So I have to generally order online. Then the postage isn't that great either. So what I'm getting at is, you know, to order or restock or whatever, it isn't always such a fun thing. I have to wait for the post and all that. So that would be very nice. Or have the perfect yarn in your stash for every pattern you own. Oh, very difficult. What can I say? Have the perfect yarn in your stash for every pattern you own. Yeah, I think I'd have to say that one. I think I'd rather have the perfect yarn in my stash for every pattern that I own, and then I don't have to, you know, I could use it all up. And some of these, yeah, you could just, the perfect yarn for the perfect pattern is brilliant. So that's all my questions and all my answers. That's just me. I know my answers are a bit strange sometimes, but there you have it. Thank you, Sam, for tagging me and inventing such a fun tag question. It was fun watching, listening to all the different answers, and you know, and also trying to think of the different answers. I'll write all the I'll copy and paste Sam's questions in the description box. So if you haven't got a channel, if you want to write your answers down, that'd be nice, so we could have see what your answers would be. All totally different to mine, probably. And oh, there's so many people that I'd like to tag that really are a bit of a cop out, I know, but if you have a channel and you haven't done the questions and you haven't been tagged, I'll tag you. So anybody that has got a channel, that would be great. I'll tag you all. So yep, that's it for today. When I did my video on Monday, I just finished filming and thought, right, I'll go and have a cup of tea. The postman had been, and what was on the doorstep, well, dropped through my letterbox, was the Crochet Now magazine. So after probably tomorrow, I'll film it today, but tomorrow there'll be a Crochet Now look through, so you can see what's in this in the latest edition of the Crochet Now magazine. Haven't even looked at it yet, haven't even opened it, which is not like me at all. I normally rip it open and see what's in, but I absolutely haven't even opened it. I'll open it when I do my video for you, which I'll film later, but it'll be up tomorrow. So, oh, I'm rabbiting away. Thank you all for being here and your lovely comments from Monday's video. I'm feeling a bit better and I'm working on the festive Friday project, working on that at the moment, and I'm quite enjoying it, so I'm having a good week. But thank you for all your comments anyway, and it made me feel better, made me feel a lot better reading all the comments, and it really does help to have that support. So thank you very much for that. I can hear the birds all tweeting. I don't know if you can hear them. I've got the window open. It's quite a nice day, and my husband sprinkles porridge oats out, and I tried to count them the other day, the little birds. There must have been at least 40. I counted 10, then there was another little batch, and they all came. Oh, it was just really lovely. But I can hear them all tweetering in the trees, waiting for their little porridge oats. So anyway, I'll go, and then I'll prepare for doing my next video, which will be out up tomorrow. So whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, have the best time ever. Love each other and be kind to each other, and be kind to anyone that you meet, and smile if you can, and be happy. And I'll see you all very soon. Love you all. Bye.